Welcome back, everyone. My name is Patrick. You're watching the Oilers Rundown. Well, the Edmonton Oilers closing out the preseason last night, unfortunately, with a 3-2 overtime loss to the Vancouver Canucks. But the games that really matter get underway next Wednesday at 8 p.m. at Rogers Place for the Edmonton Oilers as they open up the season with a Battle of Alberta against the Calgary Flames. Let's start this video with a quick recap of last night's game from Oilers insider Bob Stauffer. Bob had the following to say: fairly entertaining game to conclude the preseason for the Edmonton Oilers. Matt Savoy was the best of the young guys, quick and creative. David Tomashek with a heady play on the Kasperi Kapanen goal. It will be an interesting next few days in oil country, and I want to start with those last few words from Bob Stauffer. It will be a very interesting next few days in oil country. Now, there's a few different ways you can take that. Obviously, it will be an interesting next few days with the moves that the Edmonton Oilers are going to need to make to be roster and cap compliant for Monday's roster submission. More on that in a moment, but we were talking a few days ago about the Oilers Hall of Fame room at Rogers Place being booked for something on Monday morning. We still don't know officially what, so I have some new information from a couple news sources here. Kevin McCurdy reports, I was listening to the broadcast on AM radio when I had to relocate earlier, and Bob Stauffer said this. This is a paraphrase, but I promise it's very close. The CFR cleanup is occurring Saturday and Sunday with the crews going through the building multiple times. As a result, they have Monday off, and the building is closed with limited staff available. That's not to say there could not be a signing between now and then, but that's why the building is closed for events. Normal operations resume Tuesday. Klima's lid on X had this update. Update on Monday at Rogers Place from a source. Rodeo cleanup will be Sunday. There is an announcement/presser on Monday, but no indication as to what it's about. There is no event, only the presser. Klima's lid also added this update. Monday presser update. There is a presser on Monday at Rogers. Everyone is being extremely tight-lipped about the presser to the point that employees have no clue what it's about, which is odd. Another event that had been scheduled for Monday got moved for this presser. None of that obviously confirms that Connor McDavid is signing a contract extension on Monday, but I also think none of it officially closes the door either for that happening. So I imagine, guys, if it is happening, some more news is going to leak throughout, possibly today, tomorrow, going into Monday, but I think it's possible here. I think Bob Stauffer also mentioned it on the Donnie and Dolly podcast on Friday, I believe it was, that I heard it, that he is not ruling out a Connor McDavid signing before the regular season starts. So there was nothing new to officially report on Friday or today on the matter, but it remains a distinct possibility that we could see a Connor McDavid extension as soon as Monday, but we will have to wait and see on that front. There was nobody cut or on waivers today for the Edmonton Oilers, but the Edmonton Oilers did send Matt Tomkins back to the Bakersfield Condors, so they are back to just having Stuart Skinner and Calvin Pickard, so that must mean that Stu should be good to go for the regular season on Wednesday. Quite otherwise today for the Edmonton Oilers, but tomorrow should be a crazy day on the waiver wire for all 32 NHL teams as teams look to get, like I said, cap and roster compliant for Monday's roster submission. The Edmonton Oilers will probably be sending down guys like Matt Savoy, Isaac Howard to make the necessary roster space available and to protect other guys that require waivers like Noah Philp and Alec Regula. After putting Zach Hyman on LTIR, after that, the Oilers can immediately recall those guys. The one-game rule where you have to play a game in the AHL before being called up is not in effect until October 10th, as I was mentioning in an earlier video. So this allows the Edmonton Oilers to move some guys around, protect other guys. But one player that will likely be on waivers tomorrow for the Edmonton Oilers is defenseman Troy Stecher. It looks like Alec Regula has won his spot. Nothing official on that, obviously, as of yet, but it's definitely leaning towards that direction. I think Alec Regula, with his salary, age, how he's looked in the preseason, is pretty much a lock to be claimed on waivers. Noah Philp, probably a similar situation there. So guys like Troy Stecher, possibly even Curtis Lazar, I'm expecting to end up on waivers tomorrow for the Edmonton Oilers. Obviously, we'll have to wait until noon tomorrow to officially find out, but ahead of that, that's who I'm expecting to end up on waivers. I'm expecting guys like Matt Savoy, Isaac Howard, like I said, to be sent down to Bakersfield, but to be immediately recalled and ready to play in the Oilers' opening lineup on Wednesday against Calgary. So that's all the latest on that front, guys. Nothing else to report yet, but possibly a Connor McDavid extension on Monday. But like I said, still nothing definitive, so just pure speculation at this time. But we'll have lots more to talk about tomorrow afternoon when we find out who the Oilers have sent to Bakersfield without requiring waivers and who has ended up on the waiver wire to get this team salary and roster size compliant for Monday's official NHL roster submission. But that's all for me for now, guys. Let me know your thoughts on everything in the comment section below. If this is your first visit to the channel and you like what you see, please consider liking and subscribing for all the latest Oilers content. You've been watching the Oilers Fanatic. Thanks for being a fan.